Hello, everybody. Today, Wednesday, March 18th, we're going to take some of the skills that we've been learning the last few days and we're just going to apply them a little bit. We're going to learn to put some things in order. We're going to order real numbers. So I have four values here: 3 pi minus 1, the square root of 80, 220 over 24, and the square root of 71. And I want to figure out how to scale this number line and put these four values along this number line in a way that makes sense. But I'm not going to just jump in and add the scale first. I think some people would make the mistake and think, oh, I'll put a 0 in the middle, or I'll put a 0 here, but let's not do that. Instead, let's actually figure out an approximate value for each of these numbers, because it'll be easier to compare them if they're all in the same format. So what I'm going to do is just create decimal approximations. And I'm going to go one by one. So I'm going to do some scratch area down here. I'm going to start with the first one, 3 pi minus 1. So pi is 3.1415, so I'll round it to 3.142. Multiply that by 3. So that's 6. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 1 plus 1 is 4. And 3 times 3 is 9. So I know that 3 pi minus 1 is approximately 9.426. All right, so I'm going to put that up here, 9.426. Let's go to the next one. The square root of 80. So I could do the method where I create a fraction, but I think I can think of a perfect square. Well, first of all, I know that it's just a little bit less than 9, right? Because the square root of 81 is 9. The square root of 80 is 16. 80 is 16 times 5. So I could actually rewrite that as the square root of 16 times 5, which makes it the square root of 16 times the square root of 5, or another way of saying that's 4 times the square root of 5. So now that I know that, I can take that information that I had yesterday, have it written down here. The square root of 5 is, I think, 2.236. 2.236. I'm going to multiply that by 4. I need 4 of those. And so I got 24. 4 times 3 plus 2 is 14. 4 times 2 plus 1 is 9. 4 times 2 is 8. So 8.944. I think I got that right. So there, I got the square root of 80 is about 8.944. All right, we're doing good. So obviously, square root of 80 is less than 3 pi minus 1. Oh, I forgot to minus 1. So if I subtract 1, 8.426. Sorry, 3 pi minus 1 is less than 80. Oops, 8.426. Okay, let's keep moving. Number 3 is 220 divided by 24. Well, that's a division problem, and it's also a fraction. I think that it's easiest to reduce a fraction if I can. So let's think, what can I can divide these by 2, but I could also divide them by 4. Let me start there. 220 divided by 4 is 55. 24 divided by 4 is 6. So let me figure out what this is as a decimal by doing 55 divided by 6. 6 goes into 55 9 times. 54, so there's 1 left over. Bring down a 0. 6 goes into 10 once. 6 times 1 is 6. There's 4 left over. Bring down a 0. 6 goes into 46 times. 6 times 6 is 36. And 4. Okay, so I'm going to keep getting 4s now. So it's 9.16 repeating. It's a repeating decimal. 9.16 repeating. Remember, rational numbers, repeating decimals. All right, we're getting there. We just got to do one more. That's the square root of 71. 71 is a prime number, so we are not going to be able to simplify that. So instead, I have to recognize that that's between 64 and 81, a difference of, I think, 17 units. And from 64 to 71 is just 7 units. So it's greater than 8 but less than 9. It's 8 and 7 out of 17. So let's do 7 divided by 17. 17 goes into 70 4 times. 17 times 4 is 68. 2 left over. Goes into 20 just once, and it also goes into 30 once. So let's call that 8.41. 8.41. So my smallest number is 8.41. Then I have 8.426, 8.944, and 9.16. I'm going to just make it start at 8 and go to 10 and put 9 in the middle. And then I'm going to try to order these as best I can. 8.5 would be here, so 8.4 would be about here. So I'm going to put square root of 71 here, and then 3 pi minus 1 just above it. And then let's see here, 220 over 24 is 9.1, so that's 220 over 24. And last but not least, I have the square root of 80, which is just here. All right, there's 4 practice problems on Schoology. Have fun with it.